Yes, so our school is a school for pupils that have autism as their main diagnosis and main special needs. They are between the ages of 11 all up to the age of 25. However, our oldest student at the moment is only 19. Um, we take them from mainstream schools where they've either started mainstream school or been in mainstream schools for a little while and are suffering with maybe the size of the school or the amount of pressure that's put upon them. So we are a very small school. We only have up to 27 students with smaller class groups of up to 7 students at any one time. And the students are grouped together based on sort of age and ability. So we might have sort of 3 different year groups within one classroom at any one time. The staff to student ratio is really quite high. We have 10 staff to the 27 students that we have, which means that we can monitor them. However, we want to still allow them to be independent in their break and lunchtime. So having products where we can sort of monitor what they're doing whilst sort of not being in the room with them is quite important to us as well. Yeah, so every pupil in our school has a Chromebook, which they've had now since they started school, they get their own Chromebook. So that has been in place for all of them since they started with us. So we've got around about 27 Chromebooks in school at the moment. The staff use HP laptops, and also 4 of our staff actually have Apple Macs as well. So the program works across all of the different devices that we have. So the main way in which we use it is to monitor the pupils whilst teaching staff aren't around. So break and lunch times, when they have access to their Chromebooks in order to use YouTube or to talk to different classrooms across the school. So it's a way of us being able to monitor remotely, giving them a little bit of freedom and independence, but also making sure we're keeping on track of what they are doing. We also use it quite a lot for making sure that when they're working on their computers, that we can monitor that they're actually working and not playing games. It's also been a very useful tool for us on tracking what they are Googling or what they're looking up. Safeguarding wise, that's been quite a big push for us, making sure that their history on their computer and what they're looking up is within the limits of what we want them to be looking up. And it's also a good way of allowing communication between the students. Some of our pupils are non-verbal. Some of our pupils struggle to be social with each other. So having a platform where they can talk to each other on their computers is quite important. And us being able to monitor that means we can keep up and be in line with Ofsted and KICSI standards whilst allowing them that opportunity to talk to each other. Yes, the main challenge we faced as a school was being able to ensure that they were being safe when they're using the internet or when they're on their computers. We did have an old program that it enabled us to watch what they were doing on the computers, but only a live view. It didn't monitor and take screenshots or anything like that if they were doing something they shouldn't be doing whilst we weren't watching their computers. So what Classroom Cloud has allowed us to do is monitor them without having to watch their screens all the time, because it will email us or flag up any potential safeguarding problems that we need to deal with whilst they're on their free time. Also within classrooms, it's enabled us to sort of allow the pupils more access to their computers, because we can use Classroom Cloud to set work or ask questions or pair up students, or even enable them, especially our non-verbal students in school. It gives them a platform which they can have a voice in the classroom. So they can type on their computer and it comes up on the staff's computers. They can answer questions and they can put their hand up when realistically they don't want to put their hand up in class because of their anxieties of them getting the question wrong in front of the whole of the class as being too high for them to maybe attempt to answer a question. So having the platform of being able to remotely type in an answer and send it back to the teacher gives them that voice in the classroom they didn't have before. Personally, the feature I like is having alerts on keywords. So if the pupil's using their computer, even if they're writing on a Word document or searching for something online, if they type in a keyword that maybe has different connotations to what they're used to or isn't a safeguarding concern for the school, it flags up immediately and takes a screenshot or a video of what they have been looking at. And that, for me, as a safeguarding officer and the ICT lead in the school, has been massively important, because I've been able to track what they're looking at, and without having to go through all their history all the time, just being able to watch what they're doing and make sure that they are using their computers for the reason that they should be using them for. Another one that's been really useful has been to be able to freeze computers, because when we've got an ICT class going on or a class that's using their computers, being able to get the attention of the class is quite difficult, either when they're doing a piece of work or maybe they finish a piece of work, having 5 minutes free time playing games. Getting them to shut that computer down to listen back again to the teacher is quite difficult. So being able to press one button and freezing their screen, freezing their computer altogether to gain their attention has been really useful for us. And also the process of being able to remotely log the pupils off. So if they are doing something they shouldn't be doing, rather than having to go all the way up to the different areas of the school to find them, we're able to press buttons and just remotely log them off and lock their computers so they can't go on them anymore. I'd say that Classroom Cloud is a fantastic software that has given us the perfect solution to the issues we had within school, and it's also been offered to us and is accessible to us at a very reasonable price. We, as a school, had quite a lot of issues that we were struggling to find a company that could deal with all of the problems we had. Our main issue was that the platform we had to find was the fact that we were using a different platform for the student computers and the staff computers, and not many companies were able to offer us the ability to use different platforms but have one program running that met all of our needs. So Classroom Cloud was the product that was able to offer us that, which was brilliant for us. It also helps us meet the needs of our students a lot better. One of our issues was that we had these non-verbal students that wouldn't air their, or were anxious about airing their answers in classrooms. So giving them a voice through a computer was a brilliant process for us. And also the use of us being able to use an online program as a teaching tool. So being able to ask questions or select certain students at random or all those sorts of things within the classroom has been an amazing thing for us to be able to put into place. For us, Classroom Cloud has had huge successes. It's been able to build the students' ability to work in a classroom alongside giving us that ability to remotely monitor the students, allowing their independence whilst being safe when searching online or when they are online doing things. It's also given our students a voice not only in the classroom but also a voice to each other, so they're able to talk to each other or talk to the teachers remotely, so they can build friendships and build rapport with the staff and the students, which has been a fantastic tool for them. It's a brilliant product at a brilliant price, and they are run by a brilliant team that have been very supportive to myself, who took ICT on when I started at this job. So I'm not overly confident when setting things up, but the team have been fantastic in driving and helping me set everything up that we needed to. I had to think about this one for quite a while, and the word I've come up with is wonderful.